Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Here.
Councilman Blair.
Here.
Councilman Gillis.
Here.
Councilwoman Harris.
Here.
Councilman Martin.
Here.
Councilman Scarbeck.
Here.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Here.
All present.
At this time, will everyone please take a moment of silent prayer? Will everyone please stand for the pledge? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have an agenda. This evening, we have one presentation, and Mayor Pro Tem Mike Bembas will do the honors.
Mr. Johnson, come on up, please. Hi. Hi. Good to see you. Come stand by me over here so everybody can see us. Before I get started, Charlie here has worked for the city of Algonac since 1962, 59 years. Now, when you put that in perspective, that's longer than many of us, including me, have been alive. That is a lifetime of work and dedication. And just to put it even in more perspective, when you think about it, in 1962, the #1 song for that year was Roy Orbison's Crying Over You. West Side Story, the Sharks and Jets fighting in New York, was the #1 movie of the year. A Chevy Impala 2-door coupe was $2,704. Wow, you have seen a lot of history in Algonac and a lot of changes. So with that, I would like to read this. It says, the city of Algonac presents this award to retired Fire Chief Charles Johnson. It is with great pride that we acknowledge and thank you for all you've done for the city of Algonac in your many years of service. We salute your tremendous dedication to protect the residents of Algonac and surrounding communities, as well as your outstanding leadership and mentoring that helped shape the firefighters of today. We're proud to call you one of our own and wish you every happiness in your retirement, and that is signed by our mayor, Terry Stoneburner. Take this off here so we can get some pictures. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson.
Enjoyed my job, all I can say. And a lot of good people working for me, working with me. It was a true reward.
Good, good. Congratulations again.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want us to come down? Or
I
have
think
family
so.
come
I
up?
think family, if you wanna come on
Family,
up.
come on up.
Everybody, firefighters, get a picture with everybody.
Firefighters, please.
Yeah. Everybody that's working with Charlie and then a firefighter. I'm not going up there. I don't have my stuff on.
Get your foot up there. Why?
Come on, guys.
Feel like I'm gonna do work with
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I can barely get everybody in, but we got it. All right. Good, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And I first met Charlie at a fire department picnic in the sixties. I was with my grandpa there. It was at Haynes Farm, and I had an egg thrown on the top of my head, I guess. But we had fun. And it's been great seeing you work for the city and be here for us, and we really appreciate it. Next is public comment. Keep in mind that you are limited to 5 minutes speaking, and that you need to state your name and your address. So whoever would like to speak can come up to the podium.
Hello, my name is Alan Schaefer. I'm at 1810 St. Clair River Drive. And the reason I'm here is to hopefully enlighten myself on an issue that I'm personally having with the construction of a dwelling at 1800 St. Clair River Drive. And I guess one thing I'm wondering is if there is some issue with the process between the notice to the public, permit, the state of Michigan permits and everything in between. Is there any recourse on the part of this council on remedying any kind of a situation that might be maybe incorrect in your eyes as well tonight?
You would take that up with our city manager. Normally, we do not speak in dialogue during public comment,
Okay.
but you would take that up with our city manager.
Okay, well, for the comment part of it, I have taken up with the city manager. I've addressed it to the building inspector, code enforcement, and no one really seemed to know what to do about it or know what the requirements are on that process. Because what had happened was notice to the public was put out. It addressed up front at the rear of the property. It's on the waterfront, which is important to a lot of people in that area. And it was approved to be put right at the edge of the canal. The problem is that the canal has a cut in, and my next door neighbor, before he put his house up for sale, mentioned to me that he assumed it was the inside edge of the canal where the cut in comes in on the property. As it turned out, the construction of the dwelling was put up on a very outside level, and the state of Michigan approved it for 16-foot wide by 40, I think it's 47-foot long, and the permit was issued for 17-foot wide by, I think it was 48-foot long, and so there was a difference between what the state approved and what the application stated and what the permit was approved for the application for permit. When the final permit came out, there was an extra 108 odd square foot added on to the requested square footage by the applicant, which turned out to be 799 foot asked for. He was granted something like 907 square foot on permit. So there was concern on that, plus according to the state of Michigan, they include all the dwelling in a square footage and the size that they're allowing, to be proceeded with in the permit process. And according to them, the entire structure is considered including the overhangs. And there is a foot overhang on it, which actually goes out past the canal. And then of course, 2 side overhangs, which it takes up most of it. So, that was one of the issues that I found with it, is the size of the dwelling. Secondly, it's built on approximately 7.5 to 8 foot of property that doesn't belong to them. It's an encroachment into the canal. And what had happened is 2 years prior to that, it was sold, and the dwelling that was there in its place was falling down, and it was, I guess, purchased by a party that was required to tear it down at that time because it was a hazard. And So an additional foot was added onto it in a process where he reconditioned the seawall. He was given permit to, put an inlet in there so he could, put a boat hoist and have a place to park the boat. And, so as far as I was concerned, that was all that was approved. I didn't receive notice that there was anything else that was gonna be done on the property. And, after I found out the permit was issued for 799 square foot, I checked with some neighbors. A couple of them don't recall ever seeing it. And my next door neighbor, when it moved, said that, he thought, it would be the same size dwelling, but it would be inside the property line adjacent to his garage, cause he just built one a year or two before that, and he had a setback of 25 foot, from the edge of the water. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because from my point of view, the only thing I can really see is the green building with no windows, and it's got the vertical siding on it. It looks completely out of place with the area, in my eyes anyway. And, I'm about, probably 75 to 80 foot away.
Your
Is my
time is up. Yeah. Your time is
Okay.
up.
So anyway,
Contact the city manager. Thank you.
I did, but
Okay.
is there anything I can do from this point? Besides, or should just talk to her again?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm Jim Wilson-Chanik, 909 Market Street, and first of all, I just tell you, I'm very happy that you guys are serving on our council, and I appreciate that. I'll start with a timer. Must be the day of permits. I wanted to come here and share an experience I had, and I think there's some areas that I think we need to look at. Last year I contacted the city manager about having a driveway put in, and said that I was putting in, fixing the sidewalk as well, in at the city manager, and then had any concerns, they should let me know about the sidewalk. I wasn't concerned about the driveway, because my past experience is we haven't had to have permits in Algonac for driveways, or it certainly wasn't enforced. So anyway, the city manager responded that I needed a permit for the driveway. So I let my contractor know, and the contractor said, send me the form that was attached. But over time, the contractor decided not to do the work. So that was the end of last year, so I contacted in the meantime, I contacted the mayor, and I talked to the mayor to get some clarity, and she got back with me and said that, if the driveway is just being replaced, or if it's just being repaired, it's considered maintenance, and there's no permit available or needed. So I didn't think at that point I needed one, because I was repairing my broken up driveway. So I got a hold of another contractor, Jimmy Day, and, Jimmy says, no, I've been in business 35 years, never had to do a permit in Algonac for cement work, for, Algonac, Marine City, or Clay, and I verified with Clay. Clay doesn't do it. I did not verify with Marine City. So anyway, we started the process of putting it in, and lo and behold, the permit inspector did show up, said we needed to have some permits, said we also needed to have, lines, on the sidewalk scored, or on the driveway scored in where a sidewalk would be, even though there's no sidewalk there. Fortunately, my, contractor was wise enough to tell me he wasn't gonna do that, wasn't gonna ruin my driveway. We wouldn't even know where the driveway, or the sidewalk would be, which is the line up lines to it. But anyway, so I didn't get any good feedback from the inspector. All I got was a dumb suggestion was to put lines in to score my sidewalk. So anyway, I still question this a little bit. They told the contractor he had to stop his job, had to get a permit, he did. And they charged him $200 for it. My understanding is $50 for the permit, $75 for an inspection of the packing, and $75 for the inspection. The city manager sent me some information on why sidewalks are required, or why a permit would be required, and one of them is if it touches the road, one of them is if it touches the garage, and one is if it touches the steps. So technically, they said I needed 3 permits. They didn't comment on the sidewalk, and I'm glad, because we certainly don't want to be throwing red tape on anybody who fixes sidewalks, because as you know, that's kind of a red area. Citizens don't think they should fix it, and the cities don't necessarily think it's their responsibility. So usually there's a sidewalk plan that'll address that, but Fortunately, that wasn't a big issue, the sidewalk's fixed, it's all ADA compliant, people can go around it that were, handicap accessible, so I'm seeing that, they're using it, that's good, and no one's falling and breaking, or hurting themselves like they did with the other. So anyway, my concern is this, it's about relationship building. The relationship building in government is your relationship you're gonna have with your citizens, the relationship you're gonna have with your contractors. The contractors are a year out, they're not gonna do Algonac if you give them bureaucracy and red tape, they're just not gonna do it. Matter of fact, Jimmy already has the house across the street, when he did my estimate, he did theirs, it's a smaller property, he was gonna do mine at the same time, it isn't done. He has 3 others in Algonac, I talked to him today, they're not done. He needs clarity on this, because he's already given these people bids, and now you're going to ask him for more money, that he has to go back and tell those people. He's never done this in 35 years. Now, my concern is a couple things, and I gotta hurry up. My concern is a couple things, I spent a lot of money on that house, I put more than $100,000 in the house, roof, windows, siding, the whole thing, I got more plans for that house. And I own the house next door, and I have over $40,000 planned on that already, roof, windows, siding. I don't anticipate that I should have to put in a permit for windows, when all I'm doing is taking them out and putting them in, I'm not changing the structure. All I'm doing that with the same thing with the siding, I'm just upgrading it because it's old, it's broken, it's faded, and I want it to look better. I'm willing to put that money into the town, but if you start permitting me, every time I do a project, that project alone, that 40,000 I just told you about, I'm gonna have over $1,000 in permits. Because I'm gonna need one for the roof, I know that, I'm not an anti-permit person, we have to use common sense though. If we just keep hitting people with permit fees, they're not gonna do the work on the house, they're not gonna put the investment in, I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that you're also not gonna get the contractors, because I'm seeing it already, where one's already failed on me, and another one's delayed the project. So the city needs to I don't want to end my time, so I'm gonna wrap it up.
Finish your sentence,
So,
please.
yeah, so the city needs to take and have a little meeting, if you want, I can address the zoning board, and have a conversation on this, but we gotta have a better understanding on how to handle these permits.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Don Davey, 710 Smith. First I wanna say, yay, Charlie. Charlie's been our neighbor. He's a wonderful man, and I can't say enough good things about Charlie. He's awesome. Now, I've heard bits and pieces of Mr. Blair telling people that about emails. Ray did not get one, Jake did not get one. The only reason they did not get one is I put too much stuff in it for Jake's to take, and I forgot Ray, completely forgot. On July 14th, I submitted 6 FOIA requests to the city. I submitted those requests after I had gone through a city council packet and had found the application that the Lions had put in where it had the question about what have you donated to the city. I was curious about, because there was 2 other events at the river, so I was curious, I wanted to see the application permits that were put in by the event organizer, the Social Connection. I was here for the July 20th meeting where myself and some of the Lions members had discussed what they had done for the community over the last few years. On July 27th, I got letters from the city telling me that 4 of my FOIA requests were complete and ready to be picked up. 2 of them were not. When I came to pick them up, they were dated July 20th, which actually happened to be the meeting that we were there. The requests that I received had to do with the first event, the Wine and Beer Festival on June 5th. I did not receive anything for the Bourbon Brews and Barbecue event. They said that they need an additional 10 days. Now, on August 3rd, the city manager gave a presentation on special event permits. And in that, and I quote, if I can find it. She went through the list of the things that are on the application. Now, when she went through that list, as far as what I had for my FOIA request, there was only one organization who had filled out that exact form, and that was the Lions. 13 days after the Lions had submitted that, the event organizer had submitted their application for the Beer and Wine Festival, which was nothing like what the Lions had filled out, and nothing like the manager talked about during that presentation. During the presentation, she said, and I quote, "It asks about your past donations to the city and the community." She then went on to say, "That information is important for city administration and council to know whether or not there is justification for less than 100% of reimbursement costs. And to learn more about the organization requesting the use of city property and safeguarding the protection of taxpayer dollars." Now, on August 6th, I got a letter from the city saying that the other two FOIA requests that I had requested were done and complete. The dates on those were also August 3rd. Everything that was in that was similar to what I had already been given for the first round. The only thing that was different was the application form, which lo and behold happened to be the same one that the Lions filled out. Now, I find it odd that the Social Connection would turn in two completely different forms, that they would fill out two completely different application forms for a special event permit. I also found it odd because I went through special event permit applications from back to 2018. Never has there been a time where a special event permit was submitted, approved by not only the DPW, the fire chief, the building official, give me 1 minute, the building official, and the city manager, all on the same day.
Okay, thank you.
Please go through what I gave you. I fully believe that what I requested I did not get, which was in violation of the FOIA law. Thank you.
Anyone else? City manager's report, Mrs. Kirstenberg.
Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner. As we've been talking about lately, the Robbins Street Water Main and Road project has started, so you begin to see some activity out there. Another reminder regarding yard waste, please continue to put your yard waste in paper leaf bags or 30-gallon trash containers clearly marked with an X facing the street. The branches should be no more than 2 inches in diameter, no longer than 4 foot long and bundled, no tree stumps, please. The leaf vacuum will be out November 8th through the 19th and will complete 1 rotation of the city starting at the south end. If you missed that window, the last Terra yard waste pickup will be November 26th, which is the day after Thanksgiving. We are also doing what is called a Pazar road grading study right now. So the engineers will be out in Algonac evaluating pavement conditions on all of our streets Wednesday, September 8th and Friday, September 10th. The Pazar scale is a 1 to 10 rating system for road pavement conditions developed by the University of Wisconsin back in 2004. Hubbleroth and Clark applied for and received a grant for this work on behalf of the city of Algonac. Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner.
Thank you. Next, we're being asked to approve our consent agenda and to tonight. It consists of our city council meeting minutes from the regular meeting on August 17th, 2021. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. We have no unfinished business, so we'll get right into the new business. Tonight, we're being asked to adopt Resolution 2021-10. And I would like to read the resolution. City of Algonac, County of St. Clair, Michigan. A resolution officially naming the City of Algonac Fire Station. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Algonac adopted at a regular meeting of said council held at the Algonac City Council Chamber located at 805 St. Clair River Drive, Algonac, Michigan, on the seventh day of September 2021 at 7 p.m. Whereas Charles Johnson officially ended his fire career with the City of Algonac on July 1, 2021 after 59 years of service. And whereas Charlie began employment with the City of Algonac in 1962 and held various positions over the years, including the Public Safety Director for a short duration in 1997. And whereas in 1975, he became the city's first full-time fire chief. Throughout his fire career, Charlie continuously supported fire and public safety in the city by ensuring that the services the fire department provided to the citizens were second to none, and that the department was well-staffed and trained and had the equipment it needed in order to provide the citizens with this level of service. And whereas, after his retirement in 2004, Charlie remained employed by the city as a paid on-call firefighter until July 1, 2021, when he hung up his helmet for the last time. And whereas, Charlie not only was the longest serving fire chief of nearly 30 years, he is also the longest serving employee, having been employed by Algonac for 59 years. And whereas the City Council wished to recognize Charles for his dedicated service to the city, its residents, and his commitment to public safety throughout his career. And whereas the naming of a facility is an appropriate recognition for such a distinguished person. Sorry. Now, therefore, it is resolved that the City Council of the City of Algonac hereby designates the City of Algonac Fire Station 1 to be officially named and known and hereafter as the Charles R. Johnson City of Algonac Fire Department Station 1. And this is what it will look like.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlie. This resolution is declared adopted today. And with that, may I have a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2021-10, officially renaming the Algonac Fire Station the Charles R. Johnson City of Algonac Fire Department Station 1.
Support.
Discussion? I want Charlie to know that his peers came to us in the fire department and made this suggestion to be renamed in the department, or the station to be renamed in his honor for his longevity and dedication to the city.
Thank you.
So you can be proud of your men. please.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Absolutely.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Scarpet.
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And this leads us right to the next, item of business that we have, and that's to approve the signage. We've gotta pay for it, so we can get it up there. May I have a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve signage for the Charles R. Johnson City of Algonac Fire Station 1 from Signs by Tomorrow in the amount of $3,677.
Support.
Discussion? We'll say we received 2 quotes, and that was the lowest quote. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Scarpet.
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, we're being asked to approve the payment for the building official. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we approve the payment for building department construction services and office hours in the amount of $4,304.42. Tracy Calic, building official services for the month of July 2021.
Second.
Comments, questions, concerns? Roll call, please.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Scarpet.
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we're being asked to approve the purchase of fall light pole banners. These will be vinyl banners that will have 2 different fall 4-color designs. It's proposed, that the city purchase 15 of each design. The banners are 28 inches by 80 inches, which is the same size as the red banners on Riverfront Park, on the solar lights in Riverfront Park. It's expected to be, delivered 2 weeks following the order being placed. We received 1 quote from Northern Lights Display, and they have supplied the city with, Christmas banners and the, red River Park banners. Their pricing has always been the lowest. We had budgeted $3,000 for this in this year's budget. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve purchase of 30 custom fall banners for the M29 streetlights from Northern Lights Display, whose address is 13982 Industry Avenue, in the amount of $2,255.
Support. Comments, questions, and concerns? Or concerns?
I think they look great. Love it.
I've liked everything that Northern Lights has done, that we purchased. I know Councilman Martin and I were both at a picnic the other day, and several people talked about the banners and how nice they look in the banners that we have. It just gives it a pop. It looks nice. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Scarpet.
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, I have a motion to approve our accounts payable and payroll.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable and payroll in the amount of $717,649.42.
Support.
Comments, questions, or concerns? Roll call, please.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Scarpet.
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Gillis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mrs. Gerstenberg, what are the next items, or the items for our next agenda?
Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner. We will have an emergency tree removal invoice. We may have introduction of an ordinance regarding, duck hunting and boats. We have a presentation by EDA, and we will have a nice neighbor presentation to our very own Jerry Martin.
Thank you. Council comments. Councilman Blair.
Sure.
Yes, I know. I'm writing down. Jerry Martin's name in my notes.
First off, Mr. Johnson, I want to thank you for all your years of service to the city and this community. You're an icon here, and I'm glad to have you as part of Algonac, and for the rest of our fire team, if you will, that gave him that great honor. You guys are awesome as well. Thanks for what you do. Besides that, I'm gonna keep it short tonight and have a great evening.
Councilman Gillis.
I would also like to congratulate you, Mr. Johnson, and everything you've done for the city. Not so many years ago was the worst day of my life, and it was the day my father passed, and you were the first person on the scene to comfort us. And I know that every single one of you people in the fire department do an amazing job for this community, and I'm proud to know every single one of you, and I thank you all for what you've done, especially you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you for everything. That's it.
Mayor Pro Tem Bembas.
Hi, everybody. Whole bunch of stuff going on. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. September 16th at Maritime Museum, community leaders and business leaders are invited to meet and go over next year's plans for the community. October 8th is Rosie Dinner Polish Fest. Anybody out there Polish? Not everybody's perfect if you're not Polish. But tickets are going fast. There's only 200 tickets. You can get them City Hall or just about any business in the city. So go get them. October 16th, Halloween in the Knack. It's already gonna be bigger than last year. We're selling duck tickets at just about every event, and those ducks are $5 each, $5 each. Winner gets 500, second 250, third 100, and there's a booby prize for last place. But those funds we get from there pay for the entertainment. This year we're adding a juggler, we're adding a clown, we have pirates, some other entertainment, so it's becoming a big thing. You know, I love the banners, they're great. I'd like to have one for every season that we have. We'll never have industry coming in here, we'll never have big time stores coming in Algonac. We're just not designed for that with our downtown the way it is. Doesn't matter what happened 30 years ago, whatever, it's just the way it is. But we can make it vacation land, a very enjoyable boardwalk. We've done a lot of that with tables and benches and things out on the boardwalk, and I hope we continue to do that with doing little things like banners and getting our new swimming pool going and the improvement to our parks. You know, we're a good bedroom community. As far as Mr. Johnson is concerned, thank you for all you've done. One thing about being a leader, it's not so much being in front, it's about being behind and being that servant leader and teaching others. It's one thing to do, it's another thing to teach and mentor and show and have the respect of not only your fellow workers, but your employees. And that proves you've done that just by all the fire people. I guess you can't really say firemen, fire people, I guess, nowadays. Here, to show you their appreciation, so it just shows who you are and your character, that they're all here to support you, and we do appreciate you, and thank you.
Councilman Martin.
Yeah, for all the years I've known Chief Charlie Johnson, I have been amazed at his commitment to the health and welfare of our citizens of Algonac. And this is a fitting tribute to Charlie. And thank everybody that participated in it. And that's it.
Councilwoman Harris.
I just want to say thank you to all of our wonderful firefighters. We have a great fire department, and thank you, Charlie, for your years of service.
Councilman Scarbic.
I just want to thank Fireman, I'm sorry, Charlie, and I want to say it was well deserved, and thank you again for your years of service, and thank you all for coming out.
And I'd like to say thank you to Charlie as well. Thank you, Chief. Congratulations. It's a testament to you that your men and women came to us and wanted to do something like this. And I couldn't be more proud sitting here to be the one to get to read it. You laid a great foundation all those years, and I know our chief now is carrying on, and it's to us, it's seamless. And I know there's a lot of work and there's a lot of duck feet paddling underwater, making everything work the way it should. But to us, you guys are tried and true. You're always there whenever we need you in our darkest hour. Very proud of our whole fire department, and especially today to you, Charlie. Very proud. Also, one thing we don't want to have happen, school started, and we do not want bus accidents or children getting hurt, getting off the bus. I know it's changed. You have those red lights going and the yellow lights, but there's not anywhere in Algonac or our whole community, including Clay and Ira, there is nowhere that you're at a divided highway and you should be wondering, should I stop? Stop when you see those lights, please. You could be saving a life. You really could. And it doesn't matter if you're going with the bus traffic in the same direction or opposite it. And if you're coming from a side street, just stop. Just stop. And no one needs to be in a hurry, that much of a hurry, that it could cause an accident with a child or an adult or anything. So, and with that, I kept it even shorter than you. All right.
I think I make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.